Secret gives me 3 times more stress sweat protection, so he can't smell the fear, just the pheromones. Secret, stay fresher under pressure.
Watch Off the Clock today at 2 on KTLA 5.
Now at noon, breaking news. Rapid developments are being reported in the manhunt for Charlie Kirk's assassin. This after the FBI released images of a person of interest. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The 31-year-old conservative activist was shot and killed during a crowded event at Utah Valley University yesterday.
The manhunt for his killer is intensifying this afternoon. KTLA 5's Annie Rose Ramos live in the newsroom with the latest information from authorities. Annie Rose?
Hey guys, yeah, lots to get to and developing just within the past hour. The manhunt still underway for the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk. The FBI now releasing images of a person of interest, offering a reward of up to $100,000 for any information leading to identifying and arresting the person responsible for murdering Kirk. All right, we want to get you straight to these images so you can see them for yourself, showing what appears to be a thin man wearing jeans, a long sleeve black shirt with an American flag graphic, black sunglasses, and a hat. Now, in the second photo released by the FBI, while we know it is grainy, you can make out the person appears to be walking in a stairwell here. These new images coming hours after officials say they have recovered key new evidence overnight.
That individual appeared age. That was a new development overnight, working through the night studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now.
We have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled.
31-year-old Charlie Kirk was shot to death on a college campus yesterday during a speaking engagement at Utah Valley University. The conservative activist was taking questions surrounded by hundreds of college students that you see there when a single shot rang out. But before we show you that moment, we want to warn you some of what you're about to hear and see may be disturbing.
Do you know how many mass shooters there are over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
In the seconds following the gunshot, hundreds of students were seen running in every direction, scrambling to safety amidst the chaos after that single bullet struck Kirk in the neck, causing him to collapse in front of the crowd.
You just see his neck open up and there's just like so much blood that just came out. It was horrible.
Kirk's security team seen rushing his lifeless body through the panicked crowd to a nearby SUV. Police say the shooter was likely on a campus roof some 200 yards from where Kirk was speaking. This video you're looking at right now showing what appears to be someone on a roof running away moments after the shooting took place.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
We're doing everything we can to find him, and we're not sure how far he has gone yet, but we will do our best.
All right, we want to show you new images into our newsroom obtained by CNN showing law enforcement searching a Utah neighborhood not far from the university where that shooting took place yesterday. Authorities looking for any signs of a suspect. Now, within the past hour, we've also learned that a news conference was scheduled to provide updates to the public about this investigation. And then minutes later, it was postponed due to, quote, rapid developments in this case. Per the Utah Department of Public Safety, the news conference will be held later today. Lou, Glenn, multiple sources now reporting that Vice President J.D. Vance, alongside his wife, Second Lady Usha Vance, will be in Salt Lake City today and will be retrieving Kirk's remains and escorting his casket from Utah back to Arizona on Air Force Two. Charlie Kirk and his family lived in Phoenix, Arizona. He is survived by his wife and their young 2 children. Glenn?
All right, Annie Rose Ramos, thank you. The assassination of Charlie Kirk is raising concerns that political violence could be on the rise.
Experts say social media is contributing to extremist ideologies. KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang live in our news center with more details on this. Hi, Kimberly.
Lou, Glenn, hi. After conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed, there are renewed concerns about political violence and aggression in the U.S. The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, said our nation is broken.
We've had political assassinations recently in Minnesota. We had an attempted assassination on the governor of Pennsylvania. And we had an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate and former president of the United States, and now current president of the United States. Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken.
Now, while the FBI hasn't released an official motive, Cox has called it a political assassination. Charlie Kirk, an outspoken conservative activist, was shot and killed while speaking to a crowd of thousands at Utah Valley University. Kirk's assassination is the latest in a disturbing wave of political violence in our country. Just 3 months ago, Minnesota Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot and killed on the same day that Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman was also shot. In July 2024, then candidate President Trump was shot at a rally in Pennsylvania. And while the manhunt is underway for the shooter, political leaders on both sides are speaking out against political violence.
No matter your political views, yesterday's attack was heinous, cowardly, and ought to make everyone sick to their stomachs. Political violence is the enemy of democracy, and we have an obligation on all sides to fight it at every turn.
There are many security measures in place for members of Congress, at their homes, at their offices, and when they go about. But we live in a dangerous society, and it's difficult to cover even the President of the United States from every angle, as we all know. And so, the problem ultimately at the end of the day is the human heart.
Brian Levine, founding director of the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism, says this is a perfect storm. Extremists are being recruited on unregulated social media.
We're seeing an increase in threats, an increase in the number of Americans who believe that violence might solve political problems.
And the FBI confirming this is an era of increased threats of violence. FBI agents say they are exhausting all efforts to catch the person responsible for killing Kirk. Reporting in News Center, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. For the latest updates on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, head to KTLA.com or download the free KTLA app. Our coverage will continue here throughout the day.
On new federal charges for the leader of a Mexican mega church already in prison on state charges. 56-year-old Nissan Garcia was among 6 people charged with racketeering and child exploitation yesterday after a federal grand jury in New York indicted them. Federal prosecutors say Garcia, who led La Luz del Mundo Church, sexually abused children and women for decades. The defendants are also accused of trying to destroy evidence and silence the victims of abuse. Attorneys for Garcia denied the charges. Now, Garcia is already serving more than 16 years in prison for sexually abusing young followers.
Community advocates joined family members to announce efforts to keep car wash workers safe during the ongoing immigration raids. The La Cienega Car Wash in Mid-City was the site of an ICE raid on August 21st. They are calling for car washes to take additional measures to keep workers safe, including making sure workers know their rights and having emergency contacts for all workers.
They want us to corner us in a way that we don't have any other option but to sign the voluntary departure. Well, we got to stand up with our community so that we can fight back together.
The car wash will display a checklist of actions that car wash workers, customers, and owners can take to ensure workers are safe, and they are also urging other businesses to also post the checklist.
A bill barring federal and local law enforcement from wearing masks here in California is now one step closer to becoming law. The No Secret Police Act is a response to ICE raids where officers arrive wearing masks without displaying identification. The bill sailed through the Assembly and now heads to the state Senate. If signed into law, it would require all law enforcement agencies to restrict the use of face coverings, and it would make it a crime for officers to conceal their identity. Exemptions would apply to undercover assignments, tactical units, and the California Highway Patrol.
A judge has ordered federal agents to stop harassing journalists and others who are observing immigration raids. Judge Hernan Vera of the Central District Court is issuing a preliminary injunction against the Department of Homeland Security. He said there are 50 credible declarations that DHS agents have retaliated against reporters, legal observers, and peaceful protesters at immigration raids. Vera said, quote, "The First Amendment demands better." The Trump administration has not yet commented on the ruling.
Recording artist Bad Bunny is ditching his U.S. tour dates over fears of ICE raids targeting fans. The Puerto Rican superstar says that the risk of immigration enforcement at large gatherings, including concerts, made him uncomfortable about bringing shows to the U.S. right now. Bad Bunny says the decision wasn't out of negativity, but out of a desire to keep his audience safe. He won't risk his fans' safety. For now, he is focused on his sold-out residency in Puerto Rico and encourages American fans that they're welcome to travel there to see him.
All right.